SoCal Connected starts now.
Good evening, I'm Val Zavala. You're in the middle of a California stop. You know, those famous right turns where you just roll through the red light? Then flash, you're caught on camera and a pricey ticket is on its way. But what happens to all the millions of dollars from red light tickets? And do the cameras really make our streets safer? Correspondent Judy Muller isn't going to stop until she gets some answers.
If you're ready for your close-up, as they say, you've come to the right place, a traffic intersection. Southern California is home to 404 traffic cameras spanning 37 cities in 5 counties. They are watching you, and you can't escape them. Lights, camera, gotcha. And it's a pricey gotcha, setting you back $446, which might explain why we found so many people lined up outside downtown LA's traffic court one morning, waiting to fight their tickets. This man had just received his second one.
What did they want to charge you for that ticket?
Almost $500.
Linda McCain thinks it's an outrage.
And how much do they want to charge you for not stopping on the proper line?
A whole week's worth of pay, about $480.
Standing in front of Linda, college student Shanti B.
What's that mean to you, $500?
I can spend $500 on my books. That's what that means.
All 3 got tickets for the so-called rolling right turn violation, which until 2007 cost $150. After installing the cameras, the city nearly tripled the rate to $446. That violation now accounts for 70% of all red light camera tickets in LA.
It is basically robbing the traffic violators of over $500.
Los Angeles City Council member Dennis Zine is a critic of the red light cameras these days, but 10 years ago he hailed their arrival. Why did you originally think this was a good idea?
I thought it would reduce deaths, reduce injuries, reduce collisions, reduce the number of people running red lights. That's what I thought it would do.
And, Mr. President, on item 17, there is a request to continue.
And that's what most city council members thought, because that's what they were told time and time again.
We have had a decrease in the number of photo red light accidents that have occurred relative to right angles.
During the year, we've seen a decrease in red light related traffic collisions.
In my perspective, and what the audit showed, is that it did not meet the expectations that had been sold to the council and to the mayor at the time.
In September, City Controller Wendy Gruhl released a scathing audit of the city's red light camera system. She has doubts that it's the cameras that reduce accidents.
Overall, traffic collisions generally in the city, and I think even across the country, have gone down 14%. Where's the correlation necessary? If you're going to make, I guess, claims that this is the real reason for reduction of traffic accidents, let's be able to demonstrate that.
The LAPD's data looks impressive. 50%, 80%, even 100% decreases in accidents. But the actual number changes are so small, they're misleading. At Wilshire and Westwood, for example, there were 2 accidents 6 months before the cameras and 0 accidents 6 months after.
So that's just misleading. It may be appropriate statistics, but it's misleading.
We asked transportation expert Dr. Anthony Stein, president of the Safety Research Project, to review the audit and its LAPD data.
It's hard to draw conclusions from small numbers, which is why you need to go to things like the national study that looked at years of data over multiple sites to get enough data to have scientific validity.
He's talking about this study, a 2005 report by the Federal Highway Institute. It studied 132 intersections in 7 locations and is considered to be one of the best ever done of red light cameras. Its conclusion?
You have a reduction in what are called right angle accidents. That's T-bone accident. And you have an increase in rear end type accidents. So you have a trade-off.
But at last month's police commission hearing, LAPD reps didn't mention that study. And why not?
Some of the studies, are outside of California. and the laws in California are different outside in various states. In various states, a photo red light citation is like a parking citation, all right, and that the way that it's handled by the police department is handled totally different.
But the LAPD has one indisputable fact on its side.
The 32 intersections have not experienced a fatality since this program's inception.
That's important and a note. We just don't know if the correlation exists as to it was the red light cameras, it was a drop in the traffic collisions overall, or some other measurement.
But safety wasn't all that city council members were thinking about when they voted to install the cameras. This 2010 memo by an LAPD commander says that one council member wanted a camera even if his district didn't have a high-risk intersection. And it didn't stop with him.
First 32 intersections were not solely selected based on being the worst intersections in the city of Los Angeles. They were based on some political reasons of wanting to have one in each council district.
I think if you've got every council member wants one of these cameras in his or her council district, you're politicizing safety.
Case in point, the LAPD didn't choose these two intersections, La Brea and 6th and Havenhurst and Nordhoff, where there were 24 accidents and 2 fatalities over 3 years. Instead, they picked Whittier and Lorena, where there were only 2 accidents and no fatalities during the same period. While there is a debate about whether the cameras keep drivers safer, there is one indisputable fact that may shock you. Los Angeles is losing money off the program to the tune of $1 million a year. It's actually costing taxpayers to keep the cameras rolling, in part because the city pays for officers to manage the program, and it picked up the tab for some of the construction costs.
We pay for the equipment, we pay for the officers to process citations, we pay for everything.
And there's another problem. The high price of the ticket has led to a high number of scofflaws. Over 45,000 tickets haven't been paid. Why? Because tickets issued in LA aren't reported to the DMV, so there's little incentive to pay up. That's $11 million the city of Los Angeles may never see.
It might be a program that goes by the wayside, but we're not going to spend $2.5 million to support a program when 45% of the people don't pay the ticket, 45% of the people ignore it, and there's no consequences.
So why study it further? You've got a scathing audit, you've got all this information. Why is this not a no-brainer? Get rid of the cameras.
The police department likes it.
The LAPD likes it so much they issued this report asking the police commission to renew the program. Why doesn't the LAPD want to take a transparent, honest look at what's really working here?
You have to look at the LAPD and ask them about that.
We tried, but our requests to talk with Chief Charlie Beck were denied, as were our requests to the camera company, ATS. We discovered that the red light camera industry has spent well over $100,000 lobbying the LAPD, the Department of Transportation, the City Council, and the mayor just last year. The lobbyist dollars reach all the way to Sacramento, where the red camera companies push for favorable legislation. That lobbying is effective because the cameras are touted not only as improving safety, but as big revenue makers. This intersection in Riverside at the 91 freeway in Tyler is Exhibit A. Nearly $3.5 million worth of tickets were issued here in the first 9 months of 2010, making it the most lucrative intersection in Southern California.
The winners are the companies that run the red light cameras, the state that gets the revenue, counties get some of the revenue, a slice of it. Cities don't make out as well as they should.
Rhodes Rigsby is the mayor of Loma Linda, a city that is now camera-free. It just ended its 5-year contract.
And at the end of 5 years, we're looking at an annual $70,000 deficit and a net positive to the city of less than $200,000 after issuing about $15 million worth of tickets.
He has some advice for his counterparts in LA, who will soon vote on whether to renew and expand the camera program.
My advice to politicians is don't sign long-term contracts with these companies, because you will end up with a negative situation that the public hates, and you're stuck with it like we were for 5 years.
You would be open to possibly voting no, let's take the cameras out and not extend it? You're open to that idea?
Oh, yeah. But safety is the one driving factor. We all should slow
Mr.
down.
Labange.
Councilmember Tom Labange is the chair of the Transportation Committee. We tried to get an answer from him.
I think everything needs to be fixed, but that's where the best line in Gone with the Wind, you know what that best line is?
What is it?
Well, what is it?
I don't give a damn?
No. After all, tomorrow's another day. There's much to be fixed. That's what they said at the end of the movie. And then they went wide and they panned to the sky. The point being, yes, a lot of these things are new technology. I just want to hear from the professionals at the table. I'm on the committee, hear what they all have to say, and I will make the right decision for the people of Los Angeles.
I'm Judy Muller for SoCal Connected.